I wish I'd come here sooner.
It's been stated that the Resident Evil 2 remake, which is less than 6 months away, has been completely revamped from the ground up. How do these changes affect some of our favorite classic Resident Evil 2 enemies? Zombies return as the in-the-way enemies, but they've been handed some pretty gruesome updates. These new zombies can pop through windows and burst through doors. This can partly be avoided by boarding up windows, which is a completely new feature. Their biting sequences have also been revamped, with Leon being able to barely motion out of a potential bite. Zombies can now pin you to the ground, and they can also execute an extremely scary, fast motion grab. As with common zombie biology, or lack thereof, limbs will fall off, which signals an enhanced look at decaying. The other iconic creature that has been revealed through actual gameplay is the Licker. It's only natural that they would return, seeing as how they are mutated zombies, and here's hoping that we can actually see a mutation happen this time around. And I'm already going to make a prediction that if we do see a mutation, it'll be through the CCTV camera system. From the small amount of info and actual screenshots we have on Lickers, you'll witness them terrorize surviving RPD officers firsthand this time around, as that ginormous tongue knows no end. As for how the new camera system affects the Licker's AI, here's a quote from producer Tsuyoshi Kanda. "We had to reconsider the space that the characters are in with the new camera angles. Taking the Licker for example, you first meet it in the Licker corridor, and while the CG movie plays, it's on the ceiling. Then when it goes back down to the gameplay, the Licker immediately drops down to the floor so you can aim down and shoot it. With that sort of camera, the Licker can't really jump around from different angles. But with the new over-the-shoulder perspective, the Licker can move around a 3D environment and introduce 360-degree action. So the Licker will be much more able to utilize the entire space around you because you can see the entire corridor from any angle. It allows for much more elaborate and interesting enemy AI and behavior. So to sum things up, the Licker has been given a few more tricks thanks to the new third-person perspective. The giant alligator has been confirmed to make an appearance within the sewer area of the game. This giant roadblock characterizes the sort of charm the original game was filled with these somewhat ridiculously oversized creatures. Now, thankfully, the developers liked the giant gator so much they just had to include it, despite the obvious thematic differences between the original and the remake. Here's the quote, "I really like the alligator character and want to have it in there. I think it's part of Resident Evil 2's history and people have lots of great memories of it. That's not just applying to the alligator boss. We had to start off with something that doesn't look like it's going to fit with how the game looks today, but if you keep having lots of discussions and get to the crux of what makes each element what it is, you can dig down and find the core idea and find a way to implement that in a new game. This is a great indication that no matter how ridiculous some past enemy designs are from the original, Capcom has found a way to bring them back so that they don't interfere with the game's tonal difference. So we can probably expect to see Plant 43, that giant carnivorous plant, the giant spider, and the giant moth return in some capacity. Side enemies such as dogs and crows are almost sure to follow this formula thanks to this quote, seeing as how they're already pretty believable, even more believable than giant plants, and are also super integral to Resident Evil lore. The other obvious big baddie shown in the trailer is Mr.X, aka T00, aka Trenchy. Even though he is only briefly shown, he's definitely a highlight of the trailer, shown doing what guys in trench coats do best: stalk people. Your guess is as good as mine when it comes to what's improved with Mr.X, though I could kind of see him being in boss sequences similar to one of the bosses in E House of the Dead 3, where Mr.X is just chasing you down relentlessly with little to no escape route as he destroys the environments around him. I can also see him being more of an endure as long as you can sort of boss fight as well. Definitely looking forward to seeing him and his other forms as well. And on the topic of Mr. X's other forms, it seems as though we may have gotten a little snippet of one of his transitions through a surprising boss versus boss encounter. William Birkin is probably the most integral creature to the game's overall plot and lore, so there's zero doubt about his inclusion. The one possible image of Birkin in question is an interesting interaction between what might be Birkin and Mr. X. From the looks of it, these two are going to duke it out at some point during the game in order to see who gets to kill Leon or Claire. So that's about it for confirmed or just about confirmed enemies in the remake, but in accordance to new enemies we saw in Resident Evil 1's remake, do you think we'll see new characters that can add to the overall tone of this game? Sort of like a Lisa Trevor 2.0. I mean, I can definitely see a Crimson Head 2.0 happening, but be sure to comment down below any of your ideas for new characters in Resident Evil 2's remake, as well as who you're most looking forward to seeing, or putting down in this case. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that as soon as there's new info on these awesome new enemies, you'll be notified on any new videos that I'll be making. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and as always, stay single.